background images. Let's go ahead and add a background image to our page. Now, a background image has slightly different syntax. We can say background image, and we do image. In HTML, it's img. In CSS, we actually type it out. It's image. And this one isn't just like website.com/img.jpg. Not quite like that. It's very similar, but not quite. Instead, what we do is URL braces or parentheses, and then we put the link in here. Now, this can be a relative link. This can be an image that's in your same folder, or it can be an absolute link. And we learned about those in HTML, so you should be familiar with pathing and absolute and relative links by now. Now, I don't currently have an image. Let's go ahead and grab an image. I'm going to go to unsplash.com. And let's go ahead and grab this cool image, because this is pretty nice looking. Let's grab that original size. That's going to be a big image, but let's grab it. And I just put that image into my CSS folder. So it's right beside my index.html. It's called background.jpg. And you can see in VS Code it shows up here. And when I click it, we can actually see what it looks like. So that's pretty cool. And in the URL, I'm going to say background. I'm going to have to make this just a touch smaller. Background.jpg. And that's going to link, and VS Code is actually smart enough to use this one, but it's going to link to this one over here. And this is a relative link. So let's go ahead, go back to our page, and even though we have a background color, the background image is going to take precedence. So let's go ahead and refresh. And, well, we don't see anything because that image was far too big. So let's go ahead and try to contain this image now. We can do background size, and VS Code is going to give us options there, like we saw. Contain or cover. Let's go with contain and see what the difference is between contain and cover. So save that, refresh. And it looks like the image is showing up over and over and over again. And in fact, you know what, this might have actually been too big of an image. So what we can do here is, let's just go back to Unsplash. Let's grab a different image, something that's going to be a little bit, I want it to look cool, but I also want it to be smaller. So let's grab this photo of Chewy here. Let's download a smaller image, a small one. So now I have two background images. I've got background.jpg. I've also got chewy.jpg. Let's open up VS Code. We can see it in here. This is Chewy. I purposely downloaded a smaller image. And let's go ahead, comment this out. Let's just backtrack a bit. And let's type in chewy.jpg. That matches the name over here. And with a standard background, there we go. That's better. And we can actually see it's repeating over here a little bit. Let's get rid of this. And that's totally okay. So now let's see what the background size contain does. It makes this image contained in the body element over and over and over and over and over again. What about cover? Cover makes sure that the image takes the entire width, the entire spacing of the entire body element. Now, what's cool about this is we can say div stuff here, and we can change this from a body to a div. So let's select our only div on the page and refresh. And we can see that it's sort of starting to show up there. Let's go ahead and give this a height as well. Just for funsies, let's do 300 pixels. There we go. We can also give this a background color of something darker. Let's do 000. But we have to move this onto the body. So now we're getting into a little bit of refactoring. This is completely normal. You're going to be doing a lot of refactoring as you start to write more and more code as well. So now we've got a background color of black. We can see the image in here. And it's going to take up as much space as it can from this element. So if we change this height from 300 pixels to 100 pixels, we only see basically the sky. Let's do 200 pixels. And we can see just their heads. Let's change that background size from cover. Let's change it back to contain. And so what this is going to do is try to take this whole image and it's going to contain it in here. Now it's repeating because we want to see the whole image, but it also wants to by default take up as much width as possible. So let's go ahead and change that background repeating. We can do background. Nope, not color. Repeat. And then we can repeat on the x-axis, y-axis, or no repeat. So let's say repeat on the, no, it's already repeating on the x-axis. Let's go ahead and say no repeat. And now we have an image on a page using a div. And this is a common practice. You're going to see this a lot. There is no image element. It's just the background. Now let's see what happens when we go in here and we change this to our old one, background.jpg. We can see that shows up in there as well. And let's just go ahead and undo that. And so this is background images in a nutshell. You have your background image, your URL to whatever resource. You have a background size, contain, you have background repeat. There's also things like background positioning. So we could do background position, and this is going to take, oh, look at all these different measurements. CH, CM, EM, EX, FR, IM, all sorts of things in here. But these ones, we actually want to use the named ones. Let's go ahead and say center on the left axis, or the X axis, left and right, and then center on the Y axis. That's top and bottom. And now we have an image that is perfectly centered. And what you can't see over here is our text still shows up, but we've just centered that image. Now, what I would like you to do is go to unsplash.com, grab an image, any image, change the background size, change how it repeats, change its positioning as well. And if you need a little bit of help with that on a div instead of on a body, you can always just set the height to like 200 pixels, and you can make sure that the image actually works on your page, because it's all about positioning. That's really what background images are about. It's about specialized positioning.